Hi guys, welcome back to the garage. I'm Sam.
And I'm Brad.
And today we are talking about slot car racing. And yes, that is still a thing.
Believe it or not, it really is. This is the research and development phase of a project we've got coming up. Our neighbor and his daughter are into slot car racing, and he made a request of us. He wants us to build him a pit box. He asked if we could do it, and we said sure, not having any idea what a slot car racing pit box was.
It's like one of those things where you act like you're a professional, but in reality it's like
we got nothing. So we wanted to learn about it, and there was some racing going on, so we took a little field trip.
And we are going to show you the footage of that field trip.
In our local town, we've got a slot car track called 316 Slot Car Raceway. Like I said, I didn't even know this was a thing still, so this was quite an eye-opener.
It was a lot more legit than we thought.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense.
These huge tracks. They have a bunch of different classes, different sizes of cars. They got everything from, you know, NASCAR looking things to dirt track ovals, sprint cars, like Formula One looking stuff. If that comes off the track, it's going to remove your face. Yep. And it's not necessarily who crosses the finish line first. It's a time-based thing, right?
Yeah, it's most laps wins. It's not necessarily who's the fastest car. You just have to complete the most amount of laps in a certain given amount of time.
Yeah, but it's high tech. There's computer controlled timing systems and lap counters, and
yeah, you don't just take your car and start driving it. There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, there's qualifying sessions. I mean, it's like legit racing. It's just tiny little electric cars on these tracks, and it was very cool. Our neighbor Dave, his daughter Nikki, is racing in the, I think it was called the GTP class.
I think so.
Is that right? And there was like 18 cars for this particular event. Is that right? GTP?
It's either GTP or LMP.
I don't know.
We're still kind of sort of new.
Forgive us. I don't know. But anyway, she qualified for the B main and ended up getting second place in the B main. But it was really cool because each racer gets an opportunity to race on a different lane of the track. So there's different heats. I think it was 3-minute heats.
Yeah, 3-minute heats, 8 different lanes.
Yeah, and then they stop the timer. And then right wherever your car is on the track, you can do maintenance. They were like oiling the motors and bearings. And
it was like a mini pit stop, really.
Yeah, it's crazy. There are corner marshals who their entire job is just to sit there and look for accidents and cars sliding off the track and put them back on as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you've got like 2 or 3 of these guys all in like the sharp corners, like the sharp turns. Sometimes if they're going too fast, they'll fly off their lane or even off the entire track, and these guys literally sometimes in a fraction of a second will literally be able to put these back on, get the thing lined up right.
They also have a drag racing track.
Which it was really cool.
Like a scale quarter mile, basically. But one thing that really caught us off guard was the elaborate nature of the pits. I mean, it was like
you should see it. It was like this big row. There were so many different people with their pit boxes.
Yeah, and the pit boxes are kind of like an extension of the personality of the driver, because there was
kind of like customized.
Yeah, they're full of cars and all the tools and soldering irons and controllers, and that's like a whole nother world. The little pistol grip controllers that they use.
Too.
Pretty cool trip for us. We learned quite a bit about slot car racing. Kind of wouldn't mind trying it sometime.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We did try it just messing around a little bit, and I just assumed there wasn't much skill. You just smash the gas and let it rip.
I tried it. Turn number 1, I absolutely just...
Yeah, I spent more time trying to find my car than I did actually on the track because it kept shooting off the edge. So
I can probably relate to that.
There's definitely skill to it. But basically, at every facet of the event, from the organizer and the kind of the track, I don't know what you'd call him, the track marshal guy who kind of was, I guess you'd call him the flag man or something, and would be the equivalent to real racing, starting and stopping and doing all that stuff. from that to the corner marshals to the racers. I mean,
Big
it
team
was just
to make
very
it happen.
well organized. It was pretty cool. But we learned a lot about pit boxes, and our neighbor Dave did most of the legwork for us. He kind of laid everything out and drew up the dimensions that he wanted. So we're just going to build it, possibly throw in a little bit of Antics Garage flair in the process.
Quite possibly.
But anyways, we just wanted to, before we do the build, we just wanted to show you kind of what led up to it, because that's a whole other thing in itself.
I definitely see us going back there in the future, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying it for real sometime, especially the drag racing.
Oh man, I want to try that. It looks like a lot of fun.
It was very cool. And one thing that's really neat about slot car racing is it went from everything from little kids were doing this to seasoned veterans, old guys, and everything in between. It was very cool. It was a really neat family kind of activity. So check it out if you get the chance.
Definitely. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a big thing for us, learning the whole process and then being able to contribute to all of that fun that they're having over there. Subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss out on the building project that we're doing for the pit box in this next few weeks, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't take too long.
Mix up schedule, especially with this season.
Yeah.
If you want to see our last video, we'll have a link to that as well. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.